Love hurts.
Oh man,
Love stings.
getting deep.
Welcome back to the Coronavirus Cream Spot. I'm one of your co-hosts. I'm the delicious Nicolicious.
And I'm Rob Dog. Hey everybody, how's it going? We're doing a midweek here for you guys. Wet your dirty little whistles.
It's not a midweek, it's a Friday.
I guess it is a Friday. It's an end of the week.
So what happened here is we had an episode on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
We released it.
Our moon landing conspiracy.
Moon landing hoax. The Patreon sponsor of that episode was a gentleman by the name of Brennan, or Brennan, however you want to pronounce it. And he couldn't show up for his own episode. So he made a date. He said, let's do chow, folks. Let's do lunch later in the week. I said, let's do it.
I'm always down for lunch.
And we hit him up today, just a little bit ago. Fun guy. He's got a really fun story about his roommate that fucks the carpet. So you guys can make sure you hang around for that part of the episode. Thanks so much for joining us here, guys. These midweek episodes, they're a little bit different. They have no fucking structure at all.
Not at all.
Just like your dad's face after he gets in mine and I punch him. His face isn't going to have structure anymore. You know, my thing, one of my favorite things to do is to make mom jokes. Not necessarily good mom jokes.
Right.
But just someone will say something and then I'll relate whatever they say to their mom.
Okay.
And today, one of my coworkers, we have this cart that we push around that has all of our tools and stuff on it and everything that we need to do our job. And other shifts, sometimes their cart is really nice and organized, and ours was trashed. There was stuff all over it. And I have two guys that I work with really closely that I'm kind of with all day, all week long. And it's our cart. And the one dude said, man, this cart is trashed. And I said, your mom's pussy's trashed.
It's like so aggressive.
If your pussy's trashed, do not send us an email because we don't want that. And speaking of emails and messages, I would like to remind you people that send us messages to say, hey, cunt, dick, cockfucker, suck, dick, bitch. My wife gets most of these messages, and she's very protective of both of us. So when you start a message with, hey, nut fuck, or hey, you piece of shit, and I mean, a lot of people write and say, hey, faggots, which is like, that's like, if that's cool to say where you're at, I guess that's fine, but
it's definitely not politically correct.
I can confirm officially that Rob and I have never been intimate we mostly, we're all about our wives. I will occasionally have self-love. It stopped a long time ago, but we're not faggots.
You can't say that.
In that aspect, and that's a very horrible word. So when you write us and say, hey, F words, my wife doesn't like that because I have gay friends that I love very much, and I think that's a very mean thing to say, and it's very derogatory. So please stop calling us faggots. In the messages, the quickest.
You just keep saying it.
I mean, people keep calling us that. I don't want to be called that. I don't think it's nice. It is what it is. It's not politically correct. And I've had to, and I don't know why I don't know why I was like this, but the prison, the inmates that wore like makeup and were very feminine, I felt like this, like a little sister complex where I would protect these guys and stick up for these guys when I saw them having a hard time.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did that. And people would always call them that. They would, and I would stick up for them. And I always stick up for, I just always want to protect and save people from bad stuff.
I was kind of like that with the porters.
Yeah.
You know, all the dudes, for those of you that don't know, porter is like pretty much the person that does the,
he's a prison custodian.
Or
a jail custodian.
Yeah. So in our group, like I worked midnight, so they would pretty much hand out trays and stuff. So they would, just do the stuff that we didn't, so we didn't have to do. But like, there was one guy that I liked a lot, and then super nice guy, older dude, probably like in his like 60s, real nice guy. And like he'd been there forever before he actually got sent out to prison. And one day after working with him for like 6-7 months, I was like, I don't think I've ever looked at why the fuck he's in here and like still in here. Because usually when you're in jail, you're not in there for that long.
Right.
You're either released or you're shipped out CRC to prison. And then I looked at it and I was like, I don't fucking like this guy anymore.
He's a kid toucher.
He was either a kid toucher or he was like multiple counts of rape. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was rape, and I think it was like either his daughter or stepdaughter.
Oh man.
And I'm like, yeah, fuck this guy.
Sorry, I turned myself down there.
That's all right.
Yeah. So when you're sending us messages, please start the message with "Hello, great and powerful conquerors" or something like that. That's not, just completely off-putting right off the rip. So when these messages are intercepted, they're passed along to the proper outlets. Because usually the ones I get, my wife will be like, I didn't tell you this person wrote you because they called you a cock ring, asshole, fuck, dick suck, bitch, nugget.
And I got a new phone, so I'm not even signed into the email, so I don't even fucking get them right now.
Do whatever you want. Free for all.
I don't give a shit.
Well, this episode of the Brohio podcast, this is another episode sponsored officially by our sticker sponsor, Sticker Theories.
Yeah.
Go to stickertheories.com. Use the promo code, all caps Brohio. They're going to give you 10% off, and you could probably contact them. They are just starting out. They'll do any sticker you want. Like I said, they'll make stickers of stickers. They'll make cat stickers. They'll make dick stickers. They'll make any sticker you want. And if you just reach out to them, work with them, let them know what you want, what you need, and, maybe get you a deal, whatever.
Hell yeah.
I think they'll probably be willing to work to get your business because they're starting out and they're doing an awesome fucking job. So that's stickertheories.com. They make awesome butt plug stickers. I know that because they made some for us.
They definitely did.
This episode is called Breakup Horror Stories. I have never been broken up with because I'm an alpha male, and everyone that's ever met me in my entire life didn't want to let go. There was one woman that met me, and she never let go. She's my wife, and we're together forever until the end of time. We'll walk through fire to fuck each other, and she doesn't know that. But no, I'm just kidding. I've been broken up with before. Have you been broken up with before?
I have.
It's when... And I had a really serious talk with my oldest daughter this week.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's starting to change, dude.
Right.
She's starting to go through changes. Not necessarily, weird changes, but she's starting to be like, okay, I think I might have a crush or something like that. And I told her, I said, you know what? I may talk a hard fucking game. Like I'm going to kill all these motherfuckers, but I want you to experience life. And I started to think about the first time that she's going to get broken up with. And I think about the first time that I had a real girl, well, not a real girlfriend, but the first time I thought I had a real girlfriend and I got broken up with.
Right.
Man, that's fucking tough at that
sucks,
age.
yeah.
And when you're a teenager,
mm-hmm.
and you're...
All that stuff happens at the worst time, because, when you're a teenager already, you're just literally one big fucking ball of hormones and, confusion, and
you jerk off a lot, too.
It's a hard time, dude. So much. So much. I'd fucking jerk off like 5 or 6 times a day.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Just before As the World Turns, I would get 5 in. Before Bold and the Beautiful. And I really dwelled on that. I thought about, man, that sucked so fucking bad. And I just wish, my mom and dad were not... I still feel like I'm relatable to my kids, whereas I still remember the shit that I went through and the shit that I felt when I was 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. I still remember, very vivid to me. So I feel like I can relate to children, not children, but teenagers. I don't have a teenager yet, but I'm like, I told her, I said, you're about to have a teenager.
I'm getting close, man. One more year and I'll have a teenager.
And I told her, I said, I can remember going through this stuff. So if you ever need to talk to me, just, talk to me. I'm here for you. I'm that dad. I want to be here for you. I want to make sure that you aren't going through life without having, that guiding light in front of you. And I'll be that guiding light for you. And I remember one specific incident whenever I was about I don't know, 15. It was before I was driving. I was about 15. And this girl moved to our school. She was about a foot taller than me, but I decided that I wanted to be her boyfriend. And we started to date. And
were we in middle school?
No, high school. You would have no idea who this person is.
Okay.
She was there and gone in an instant. But
I was like, I remember one girl in middle school you were with that I don't ever know what the fuck ever happened to her.
She's dead.
Probably.
No, I don't know. That's funny.
I'll remind you off air.
Okay. But my dad so I started dating this girl, not like puppy love, high school dating, whatever. And my dad has been in the car business for my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
It's what paid all the bills. What there's just a lot of history there with my family. And part of his gig was he would go to auctions and he would buy used cars. And oftentimes he would buy things in the push row. He'd get really good deals on cars that didn't run, fix them, sell them, make a couple $1,000s and, do it all over again. And this one specific van that he bought, I remember it was a really nice, like Ford convert, like a club van. One of those vans with like the big cushy couches in the back.
Oh, yeah. The
Econolines.
Is that what it was?
I don't remember. But it was a big fancy van. It had a VCR and a TV in the console.
Yeah, we had one of those.
Yeah, I don't remember what they're called. I know I think there's a Safari version of it or something.
We had the Safari one. Yeah,
okay.
that's what we had.
But he got this van in the push row, and he said all of the other car dealers were walking up to it, and they'd open the window or the door, and they would start fucking gagging. They'd run away from it. And my dad he said, I took everything I had, but I opened it up and I stood there to figure out what the fuck was wrong with it. And he opened it and this was right at the end of summer, someone had put a frozen turkey in the back of this thing. And this frozen turkey had sat in this van for the entire summer and just stunk up this van, dude. My dad was in love with this van because it was so pristine. But there was a fucking dead, rotting carcass in it for all summer long.
Last time I'm there, I'm pretty sure he told me he remembers getting a car that he thinks he had a corpse in it at one time.
Yes, that's happened as well.
Yeah, because it smelled fucking completely
different story.
Yeah.
So he spent a better part of a few weeks. He sent it to different detailers, and he sent it to one detailer, and it's one of my friend's dads. And he said, he's like, I opened that van from your dad. And I never fucking gagged so hard in my entire life. So
it's crazy that it would smell that bad if you think. I mean, first off, turkeys are dirty as fuck, anyways.
But it's dead, rotting flesh, and
true.
Dude, it stinks. It was fucking horrible.
I'm sure it stinks, but it's hard to think that it smells that bad.
I kept on remember hearing him talk about it. He would come home from work, and my mom would be like, "How's the van?" Because she knew that he loved this van,
right?
And he'd be like, "It's still pretty fucking bad. I can't fix it." So. He kept on paying to have this thing clean, and I kind of forgot about it. And then one day I was hanging out at that girl's house. We just sat on the back porch and talked for a couple hours or whatever. And then I went inside and used their house phone. Yes, their house phone, because I didn't have a cell phone.
Right.
And I called home. I said, hey, I'm ready to be picked up, my dad. And it was a Saturday.
At least your parents would pick you up. I had to fucking walk.
Jesus. And it was a Saturday, and usually my dad wasn't home on Saturdays. He was working, but he answered the phone. He was really excited to come pick me up. He's like, "Yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes, buddy. I'm coming to get you." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm sitting there waiting. I'm waiting to see his truck pull up. I don't see it. And I see this blue van roll up. It stops at the end of the drive, and he rolls the window down, and I see him. I'm like, "Oh, he's in a van, I guess." And my little brother got out he was in the passenger seat, and had his face kind of buried in his chin, and he got out and he opened up the side door just like he was my chauffeur. He opened up the door, and dude, as soon as they opened that door, the wind grabbed everything in that van and shot it into me and that girl's face. She started fucking dry heaving, and her eyes started watering. From how bad this van still stunk. And my dad's like, I got it all cleaned up. It doesn't stink anymore.
And he just nose blind to it.
It's both on our fucking knees. Smelling this van. I'm like, and I'm thinking, this motherfucker's going to give me a ride home in this thing. And I get to looking, he's taken all of the chairs and stuff out of the back. So it's just like a cargo van. It's just carpet, just like flat carpet. And my little brother's in the front, and I'm thinking, where the fuck am I going to ride? So I walk up. I'm like, what am I doing? He's like, get in. It's not that bad. It's got nice carpet. This goddamn thing stunk, dude. It smelled like a bucket of dead frogs. This motherfucker stunk.
You're sitting there, you're like, I'm fucking getting broken up with today.
Yeah. That's exactly. I was like, she's never going to talk to me again.
Yeah.
But I get in there, and I was trying to breathe through my nose, so I didn't taste it by breathing through my mouth. And I got in. She was like, well, I guess I'll see you later. And I was like, bye. And I started letting it on. Dude, I started fucking dry heaving. I had to shut the door in her face. I was so embarrassed by that I was fucking appalled. I told my mom about it, and she thought it was funny. And I said, bitch, this shit is not fucking funny. I'm fucked up right now. I got picked up in the fucking turd mobile.
Like, you understand the emotional trauma I'm going to carry around from this?
The turkey crawler. Right. I got picked up in the dead turkey.
Like a turkey carcass mobile.
And she's like, what'd your girlfriend think? I said, I fucking broke up with her. And I hadn't broken up with her. I didn't break up with her. And I had a baseball game that next day on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And I told my mom, she's like, what'd your girlfriend think of it? I said, I don't fucking care. I broke up with her because I was so pissed off and embarrassed. And when I go to my baseball game, as far as this girl knows, her and I are still dating. And so I'm up there playing baseball, and like the second or third inning, she shows up and sits in the bleachers to watch me play. And she's got on my class ring and stuff. And my mom walks up to her, and she's like, I'm sorry Nick broke up with you.
Oh, fuck. Damn it, Mom.
God damn a bitch. Fucking god damn it. So then my mom calls me over. This girl starts crying, and she takes off running. And my mom calls me over the fence. She's like, this girl wanted me to give that girl wanted me to give this to you. And it was a classroom. Like, what happened? She's like, I just apologized for you breaking up with her. And I said, I hadn't even told her that we weren't. She's like, you told me you broke up with her. And when I told my mom that I broke up with her, I was really serious. And my mom believed it. And she felt bad for the girl. So she's like, I'm sorry Nick did that to you. I'm sorry my dad picked me up that stinky ass fucking van, but we're not talking about that shit. Or the goddamn gibbler. Jesus. We want to talk about an Uber from hell, dude. That was disgusting. And then I nearly got killed that day, but I'm pretty sure she could have killed me, that girl, because she was like 2 feet taller than me. She was a lot bigger than me. But I feel like if I could have just got in one good like rib punch, like right in the gut, I could have folded her because she had a long torso. So okay. she couldn't have absorbed it very well.
She was all torso.
Oh man, my mom still talks about that.
Hey, remember when I made that girl cry?
You remember when you fucking were an asshole? And she was my mom was mad at me after that. She was really mad at me. She's like,
because then she looks like the bad guy.
She's like, I didn't raise you to treat girls like that. I'm like, God damn it. Why are you in my fucking shit for starters? Let me do me, But she's my mom has always went out of the way to make sure that she raised a good person, to teach me to be honest and to teach me to not fucking be bad to women. And she did a good job. I'm really respectful of my wife for the most part, and I'm usually a pretty good friend for the most part. But that goddamn turkey thing, that fucked me up, dude.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I used to get fucking completely terrified whenever my dad would bring me to school in that big ass fucking painter van that he had.
You get out and go inside and Robert, is that man molesting you?
It was a huge box truck, and it said Stripe Shop on the side of it. Everybody was like, oh, strip shop, huh? Okay. I'm fucking mortified. God damn it.
Yeah, all the people from our school definitely couldn't read.
Yeah. And then I fucking just started walking to school and smoking weed out of pop cans underneath the bridge.
That wasn't weed, son.
Those are some good times, man.
Yeah, I know. Like we said, very vulnerable time in your life. If you were ever broken up with, we're sorry. We're sorry that happened to you. But,
I'm not, but it's okay. You probably deserved it.
Rob's not.
We all fucking suck. Let's face it. We've all done something in our life that we deserve to get fucking broken up with.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when we're younger. We're stupid. Like I said, you're so full of it. It's like the most difficult time in your life.
Yeah, I think I got. Well, I don't need another long-winded story. We're 20 minutes into this thing. We haven't even talked about what we're supposed to talk
Nobody
about.
gives a fuck.
Okay. Well, this first story is called Bath Towel, and I named all these, so just deal with it. These are breakup horror stories that I got off the internet.
Okay.
So I'm about to jump in the shower, and my boyfriend texts me saying that he's going to head over early.
You're reading the first story.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
He's going to head over early the night before we made plans to go out. A little while later, he pokes his head in the bathroom to let me know that he was there and that he'd hang out in my room to wait for me. For starters, if my wife is in the shower, I'm getting in that motherfucker and seeing some titties.
Let me tell you something. Every time I'm home and she's in the fucking shower, I'm in that fucking bathroom.
Yeah, me too.
I'm doing titty peeks.
Yeah, I'll like stick my hand through and go, and just grab it. She's like, God damn it, I'm trying to shave my fucking legs. I'm like, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
I'll suck on your feet. Just get really weird.
Whatever you need.
Yeah. Let me in there.
I got you.
I always ask, will you put one of your boobs on my head? It's a really good goddamn thing that the women aren't just like us, because we would get nothing accomplished ever. It would just be constant nonsense all the time.
Man.
I get out of the shower all wrapped in my towel, open my door, and he's there sitting on the edge of my bed with a piece of paper in his hand. I was still in my towel. You are breaking up with me, aren't you? He shakes his head, yes. I wrote you a letter. Do you want to get dressed first? A letter?
Wow.
You're breaking up with me in a fucking letter? Just read it. Read it in front of you? So yeah, I read it. This jerk didn't even rewrite the letter. There were words scratched out. My favorite one was, I don't love you anymore. When the original line clearly said, I don't love you as much anymore. God damn.
So he just completely doubled down on that.
I read the whole 2-page letter in my towel while he said absolutely nothing.
Wow.
That's when you put one foot up on the bed and you just start spraying a piss mist all over the bed. Just try and knock him down like a fire hose. Just to stick your thumb over the end of it like a garden hose, so you
just drop a turd on his khakis.
I know it's your room, but you got to make the power move right there.
Exactly. You got to show dominance. Man.
I've never officially pooped on anybody before, besides myself.
You haven't?
No, I've not like physically shit on somebody before.
I do that every other day.
I've pooped in my hand, so sometimes I'll find myself in a weird situation.
Sure.
Where I don't have a weapon, like a knife occasionally I'll carry a
poop knife.
I have my license to carry a firearm. So if I know I'm in a kind of sketchy situation, maybe getting barbecue there's this barbecue place on the west side of Dayton I go, very, very sketchy area. And if I don't have my knife and my gun, I'll shit in my hand and hold it like a knife.
I'd say it's more effective of a weapon.
It is, for all intents and purposes, it is a poop knife. It's not.
I wouldn't flinch if I saw somebody with a gun in the west side. Yeah. But if I saw someone walking around with a fucking turd, I would be getting the hell out of there. Yeah. Like, oh shit, literally.
Yeah, those crackheads are they're staring at that bulge in my wall, and they see that fucking heater in my hand. They don't want to fuck with me.
Yeah, freeze it so you can sharpen it up.
No, it comes out sharp.
Okay.
If you just right at the end of the poop, if you not squeeze your butt cheeks, but if you snap your butt cheeks like you're in a rap video, you can really put a hard edge on one of those turds like the top of an ice cream cone.
Not only get stabbed, you can also get pink eye.
Yeah, you can really if you get stabbed with a turd, it's an infection waiting to happen.
It is, yeah, definitely.
You don't want to touch it to clean it because it's shit.
Is that the perfect murder weapon? I killed him with a turd.
Tonight on Channel 22 News at 11 o'clock, a man was stabbed by a turd, and then he's dead. Oh, I don't know.
Well, I'd love that.
I need some of our listeners to just start stabbing the shit out of each other with turds and let us know how.
Please let us know how that plays out.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to take the next one?
Oh, yeah, we're going to pass this back and forth.
All right, this one Nick promptly called Rekindled Love. Aw. So I was engaged to be married to a guy. We had dated in high school, broken up, gotten back together a decade later or so, and had a wonderful relationship. or so I thought. It was long distance, but we were just months away from our wedding, so I quit my job, gave notice on my apartment, all that good stuff. Days later, he calls me and says, I love you, but I don't want to marry you or have you move down here.
Oh my God.
Completely devastated. But after running away for a few weeks, my boss gave me my job back and my landlord was cool. Things were slowly getting back on track. Then I got a call. I had won one of those damn win a dress of your dream contests in a bride magazine.
No.
I had asked him to give it to somebody else. I still enter stupid sweepstakes because I figure my sweepstakes karma has got to be pretty good after that.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, I don't know ever win shit besides fucking bad cars.
Stacy has this friend that keeps on. There's a gas station down the street, and they have lottery tickets, but they also have the pull offs. Like you get the bingo hall,
right?
I don't know what they're like rip apart tickets, and her friend keeps on hitting for like $500, $500. She keeps on hitting. So then my wife's like, "Do you have any cash?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got like $18 in my wallet." And she's like, "I'm gonna go get some of these pull off tickets." I'm like, okay. And she brings them back. We win like $25. I'm like, "Go get more. Go get more fucking tickets." So she goes and gets $25 worth, and we didn't win a fucking goddamn thing. So I said, "We are never buying these ever again. This is the worst."
That's how I am, man. My wife's family is one of those families that every Christmas or every holiday, pretty much, they'll give you scratch-offs. I fucking hate that. I'm like, first off, you spent $10 on scratch-offs. Give me the fucking $10.
Could have got me a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, I could have bought me, several coffees throughout my work week.
Heroin.
Don't give me no fucking scratch-offs. I win like $2 max. I end up having to pay for the fucking scratch-offs.
Do you know how much?
I rage.
How nice of a poop knife you can make for $10?
Oh my God, I bet.
You could fucking kill everybody with that poop knife. This next one's called The Teacher. I was dating a high school guidance counselor. She was very intelligent, funny, and we shared the same taste in music. She was in no way odd, and I never saw anything in her behavior or demeanor that in any way concerned me. One day we were texting, and she misinterpreted what I said to be some form of rejection, and she went nuts. She lit up my phone with calls and threatening texts. She said she was going to beat me up or have others do.
Oh, holy shit.
About the time I'd received my 200th text and 50th call from her, I thought to myself that I better say something to her. She would probably show up at my house. I took the next call from her and tried to understand what her issue was. All I got was a lot of yelling, so I said, "If you show up at my house, you will be leaving in handcuffs," and hung up. She would send hundreds of texts every day.
Oof.
That's
what you call a stage 5 clinger right there, dog.
It is. I had so I've heard single teachers are really weird. Well, this is my experience.
Okay.
So I think I've talked about it before. I moved into my first house when I was 18, and one of my best friends growing up, Roy, was my roommate. And Roy was more of Roy had a fucking fake ID, and I didn't have one. Roy could do whatever the fuck he wanted, and it really upset me that I couldn't just do whatever I wanted.
Right.
Some places he could take me and I could drink because he was such good friends with people that they would just be like, that guy's fat. He's not going to cause any problems.
It always pays to know somebody.
Yeah. But one night, I remember he wasn't home and he texts me. I got a text message that said, "Bro, I need help outside right now," or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck? And me and Roy, we have known each other since we were babies. I mean,
right.
We're like brothers. And, we still are. I don't talk to him as much because he doesn't live close, but I go outside in my underwear. I woke up to this text message, so I'm confused about why he said he needed help outside. So I'm outside in my underwear, and I'm just like, Roy! And I'm screaming for him.
You fucking bark at the moon.
I'm running around the house like, Roy! It's too fucking late. He's fucking gone. He's fucking gone. And then he calls me. And I answer, like, "Roy." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Roy, what? What?" He's like, "Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. All right. Yeah." And he's like screaming at me like he's in a fucking fight or he needs help. And I'm like, "Roy, fucking tell me where you're at. I will come fucking save you." and he's not answering my fucking questions. He just keeps on talking like he's about to get murdered or something. And he hangs up the phone. So at this point, I'm going to call the fucking cops. He's dead. He's gone. And then he shows up like 20 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, fucking God, Roy. And I give him a hug. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? He's like, man, I went out on a date with this teacher and she wouldn't let me leave. I said, well, she what? And like, I guess she made him lay on his back, and she laid in his arm, and then he couldn't get to his phone, and he kept on saying like, I need to go. And she's like, no, you can stay here with me. And she wouldn't let him. She's like being really fucking weird and wouldn't let him leave. So then finally he was blind texting me. He had his phone, but he couldn't raise his arm over her body to see his phone.
So he was kind of like side-eyeing it.
Yeah. And so he was blind texting T9 shit.
Mm-hmm.
Had fucking flip phones.
Push 6 buttons to get to one letter.
Yep. And he was trying to get me to call him and pretend like I had a fucking problem and I needed him.
Gotcha.
So then when he called me, he was like, yeah, bro, I'll come help you, blah, 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 blah. So single teachers are crazy. I know this from experience. Not just these 2 isolated incidents. I just know this from experience.
Okay.
I feel it in my loins.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
What we got next? The sheriff. It is my turn, right? Yeah, it is your turn. Or my turn.
It doesn't matter.
Who cares? I continued with my high school girlfriend after I went to college. We were only 100 miles apart, and things were fine for most of our freshman year. Then one day she stopped returning my calls. This right after I had spent the weekend with her. I continued calling, getting worried. Then one day I was walking back after class and called her. A guy picked up and said, "There's a new sheriff in town. Stop calling." I could hear her laughing in the background. I loved her dearly, wanted to marry her after college. I was devastated for a year.
That's pretty hard.
There's a new sheriff in town.
I had a similar situation like that where I kept on texting a girl and she wasn't answering. And then finally she sent a picture of her and this new guy. And this guy looked like a fucking Planet of the Apes fucking mongoloid retard. And I said, God damn, fucking whatever, I guess. Whatever.
Have fun with that thing.
Yeah, good luck holding that
fucking
forehead
sloth
up.
from the Goonies.
Yeah, fucking bitch. This next one's called The Planter. I foolishly decided that moving into the same building as my boyfriend would be cute and convenient. After drunk driving my car, getting me mugged, and stealing from me, I decided to end it. I broke my lease and started packing. My ex was so pissed off at me that he decided he was going to break into my apartment, plant some drugs, then call the cops on me.
Holy shit.
My super called the cops when he saw him trying to get into my apartment. Thank God.
Wow.
God, that's pretty fucking psychotic right there.
What a fucking asshole.
Dude, and one thing I have not been able to I have no sympathy for just really over-aggressive guys that act like that, to just like don't let their girlfriends talk to people, or just so fucking controlling.
Right.
I got nothing for that, man. And I've always just had a really fucking nasty feeling in my stomach over some guys and the way they let their girlfriends kind of, I mean, not everyone in the world wants to fuck each other. People can just, like, you know, be like, hey, we're friends and we don't want to, like me and Rob, we do want to fuck each other, but we maintain the friendship for the sake of this podcast.
Right.
To keep things professional. So we don't fuck each other because you don't, I heard this one time, don't shit where you eat at.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. My brother had this girlfriend one time who got, and you'll know who she is. Who got pissed off. She got super pissed off. Him wouldn't talk to him for days because they were watching a movie and a nudie scene came on. He was like, "Damn, she has nice titties," and she wouldn't talk to him for days after that.
I can understand that being maybe not like. I would never in a million years say that in front of my wife.
Oh, I would.
See,
but my wife would be like, "Yeah, she does."
Everyone's different. Like, whenever I'm trained, like if a titty comes on in a movie, I fucking turn around and run the opposite direction. I'm scared because
I'm licking my chops, man.
I don't want to be just like, when I say that I'm like a respectful, old-fashioned guy, I may be nasty, talk nasty, but I'm very respectful, and I don't want my wife to think otherwise. And I've got one mate. She's my everything. And if I don't want her to think like, oh, he's fucking staring at titties. So even if they are scary, like, the Conjuring titties, still just close my eyes and run the opposite direction because I don't want any confusion. No confusion.
Yeah, I guess it all depends on your relationship.
Yeah, I don't.
We'll walk past a hot chick or something. Sometime my wife will be like, "Dibs."
Fucking goddamn it!
Like, no, I called it. She's like, "No, you didn't say it out loud." Like, doesn't count if you don't say it out loud. Yeah. Like, you fucking asshole.
Every time I go to your house and see your mother-in-law, I call dibs. What's this?
Have at it.
Is this me or is this you?
I
can't even remember. Oh, this is you.
This is me. Broken transmission. After 3 years, lots of plans, and living together for 2, my ex told me that he would like to begin transitioning into a woman.
That's the ultimate slap.
It really is. That part made me. I'm sorry. The part that makes this the worst breakup is not she is living happily as a woman. It is that after telling me of her identity, I said calmly and coolly, "I love you and I respect you, and I wish you I wish you the best in becoming who you are. I can't continue to be in a relationship with you as I am not attracted to women." Very understandable. Long story short, she went ballistic. Apparently, I should have known. She assumed that I was bisexual. She called me transphobic, threw things, called me every derogatory name she could think of before leaving. She emailed me for years, calling me out for being shitty, for not wanting to continue a relationship with her.
Jesus Christ.
She is completely unwilling to understand that just like her, my sexual identification and orientation is sort of set in stone, is how I was born. Basically, she feels like a complete asshole, or she made me feel like a complete asshole and told our friends how much of an asshole I was because as a heterosexual woman, I'm not interested in a lesbian relationship.
That's kind of a slippery slope right there.
It really is.
But
I mean, this person still continued to show proper pronouns throughout all of this. So, I mean, hey,
Could you imagine making a female so miserable that she come to you and just said, "I don't want a pussy anymore."
Jeez.
I don't want this body anymore. You've ruined it. You've defiled it. But there's lots of people out there, man, that just like, I feel like they're trapped. They're stuck, and I feel like there's no better time to be to be who you are and to do what fucking makes you happy, you know? And I applaud anybody that just has the courage and the bravery to say, all right, I don't care what other people think. I want to be happy and I want to do what I'm going to do.
Yep.
And I commend people for that.
I had a friend in a band that was in who was a drummer that probably about a year ago transitioned.
Yeah. Congratulations.
So, yeah. Whatever makes you happy, man. If that's how you feel, go for it.
Yeah.
You only got one life. Fucking live it the way you want.
Right, exactly. Fucking.
Once you're dead, who fucking cares?
Your wife's in the shower, reach in there and grab them titties.
Exactly.
Grab them like it's the last time you're going to grab them.
Fucking hold on to them bad dudes.
Couch fire. I don't even remember why this one's called that. I had an ex burn down the house I had recently moved out of with herself in it. Okay, hold on a second.
Holy shit.
I had an ex burn down the house I had recently moved out of with herself in it, leaving a suicide note, blaming me and the guy she cheated on me with. Oh.
So she left a note in the house that she set on fire. That's pretty fucking smart.
Oh, and she's survived with terrible burns and now has a kid with one of the other friends. So cheer up, OP. It could get worse. These are mostly taken from Reddit.
Right.
People are fucking weird.
People are really fucking weird. And from here we go into daddy issues, my favorite type of issues.
This is you.
Yeah, this story is all kinds of weird. We dated for 4 years. We were living together. He was visiting his mother several hours north of where we lived every other month or so. One night he randomly says, "We need to get married the next day." I said no, and he curled up in a fetal position and cried. It was just so bizarre. The next evening, his dad came into town to dump me on his son's behalf. His mom wasn't sick. He had been going back home because he was seeing his ex behind my back. He had gotten her pregnant, apparently. Yeah, having a boyfriend's dad dump you is shiny. What?
Probably means shitty.
Okay.
I had a very similar situation that I've already spoke about where my mom broke up with somebody for me.
Right.
It is very shitty, to say the least. Broken guts.
Oh, yes.
I was sick in bed. He said he was coming over to drop off some of my stuff. I left at his house on his lunch break. He comes in, wakes me up, and says he's dumping me. I'm naked, blind, no contacts, and confused. I ask him if we can talk about it, and he replies, no, I'm on my lunch break. I have to get to work. Leaves his key and leaves. Later that evening, I'm taken to the hospital and am diagnosed with an appendicitis and scheduled for an appendectomy. Oh yeah, he accused me of faking being sick.
Wow.
He's an asshole, though. I lucked out big time.
Wow.
I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry to whoever that is.
Yeah, that sucks.
I wonder if his dick gave that person the appendectomy. That's why.
Very good possibility. Let's see here. Brother and sister, probably. All right.
I don't know.
He was my teacher in welding school. We were...
Hi there, you're kind of fucking cute for someone with two teeth.
We were all adults when we met. I was 23 and he was 33, so no illegal sketchiness like that. But he neglected to mention that he was a pathological liar. Yeah, I don't think that's something you just put on your fucking dating profile. Making up stories about being a veteran that didn't really add up, but I'm not military, so I don't know enough to call him out.
Stolen valor.
Stolen valor. Sketchy stories surrounding why his recent relationship really ended, and I eventually dated him after he persisted we spend time together. Turns out, he never really ended things with his ex. He had just been kicked out of her house because he's a liar. He ghosted me between semesters and got engaged to his ex without mentioning any of it.
Okay.
I came back from the break to confront him, and he would just hide and invite his fiancée to our school for lunch in front of me.
Welding school.
It took a while for me to calm down from his confusing betrayal. He also told me I wasn't godly enough. Okay, Justin, you fucking liar.
You think they only have urinals at welding schools? Or
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
They all pee like the chicken stepbrothers. Crystal meth. I dated a guy who was not religious at all whatsoever and never once talked to me about crystals. He texted me one day saying that he had a crystal that knew all of the answers in the universe or something, and that he asked it if he and I were going to work out, and it said no, so we should break up. Like a magic fucking 8-ball.
Great.
Can I fit this pool ball in my ass? Looks good.
Probably.
Funniest part to me is that 4 years later, he hit me up on Facebook. I growed up, probably what that's supposed to say.
Not glowed up, that means you got better looking as you got older.
Okay, maybe that's it. Yeah. And he asked if I'd like to catch up at dinner sometime because we'd have a good time. And I said, oh, well, I just asked the all-knowing Crystal and it said we wouldn't have a good time. So no, he just said, oh, okay.
That's what you fucking get, you turd. Sad emoji. I love people that talk through emojis. It's great.
Yeah.
I've been dreading this one, but I think I'm going to tell it. We had been together for over a year. I loved him so much. He was everything to me. We were doing all fine and well.
Sounds like me talking about you.
Right. Then that morning we woke up, we lived together, made breakfast, and everything seemed fine except he was distant. He said that we were over. I pathetically started crying and begging him to change his mind. He said that he had just stopped loving me and told me he needed to go out and clear his head and he was going for a drive. I got worried when he wasn't back in 3 hours. Later that night, got a phone call that he had been in an accident and didn't make it.
Holy shit. Sorry I put this in here, Rob.
We were only 20 by then. I really love that man, and I wonder to this day if we could have made it if he survived. And if he would have changed his mind, I still miss him to this day. It really changed me. Fuck, I thought I was going to say this. He just made an excuse that he died so he could get away.
No.
I actually found out later that he was really still alive.
He gone.
Damn.
That sucks. Dog ass. Broke up with one that I'd lived with in college. I get home and my German Shepherd's whole ass is shaved bare with a note on the counter that says, glad you know what's most important in your life. Fucking broad turned nuts after we end. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not part of the quote anymore. The fucking broad turned nuts after we ended. She was fine, though, while we were together. She shaved his fucking dog's ass.
Shaved his dog's ass.
Imagine how the dog felt like, dude, please don't get those clippers too close to my nuts. Because
poor thing.
Is this the peanut butter trick?
I like that one.
That sucks, dude. My dog's 15. He would not fucking put up with that at all. He would put up a fight. He would definitely spray poop or something.
Man, I can imagine. That'd be wild.
Yeah. Break up with me, but just leave my dog's ass out of it.
Don't touch my dog's ass.
Don't fuck my dog.
Please don't. Let's see here. Pullback game. I came home from work one night at the dog food plant. Gag, worst job ever. And hear sobbing from the back room. I was used to his drunky drunk crybaby episodes by then, and
fun.
Yeah, and honestly, not in the mood to be a good supportive GF and go comfort him and baby him and all that jazz. But I decided to do so anyways. After all, maybe he would pass out sooner, and I would get to sleep before going to my second job. I opened the back room door, and there he is, spread eagle on the floor, wearing my very 90s prom bridesmaid dress with lipstick smeared down his chin, sobbing over pictures of my high school prom and yearbooks, and pictures of my cousin's wedding, blubbering like a demented, hairy, fat Ken doll. That she just didn't love you enough. You just don't love me enough either. Ripped open box of wine with empty plastic inserts were laying around. An ice cream bucket full of wine and nail polish, lipstick, magic markers were spilled and smeared and thrown all over. And the empty fish bowl I used just to toss change in was filled with what looked like piss. I really should have called 911 or something, but I was young and dumb and not a good person. I just closed the door and went to my best friend's house to sleep on her couch.
I'm sorry. I'm so sad. I couldn't make it to the bathroom. I just pissed in your goldfish bucket. What a fucking dumbass.
Oh, it's so good.
Man, there was this guy I worked with at the prison, and I don't know. He was fucking weird, dude. I don't know.
There's always those.
Dude, it's different. And his ex-girlfriend I was around his ex-girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I was talking about him. I was like, he's just kind of weird. And she's like, oh, you think he's weird, huh? And then she just proceeded to show me like 100 pictures of him in lingerie. That
yeah.
Repeatedly send her over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I was like, oh, that's cool. So yeah, not that that's like, if that's you, fly your flag. Just do it. But
you talking about the DJ?
Tuck your nuts in. No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah.
I thought that's what you were talking about.
If I ever see that guy in public, I'll break his fucking face. So
he's a fucking kitty toucher.
Yeah. Faux show. I'm getting that faux show. So that's the breakup horror stories. Do you have any breakup horror stories? Were you ever let down, like, just fucking destroyed and defiled, or?
No, I wasn't.
Pretty easy,
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure at the time I had one that was kind of rough, but I mean, it wasn't anything that crazy. I mean,
yeah,
it just didn't work.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I had some like sad ones, but nothing just like where they're wearing a prom dress at my house and shit, fucking pissing in a fish bowl.
Pissing in fish bowls.
If you've ever pissed in a fish bowl, send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. Let us know how it went, how it felt. Felt real good, felt real bad.
Did the fish make it?
Did you take the fish out? Did the fish live? Did the fish die? I got my dad koi fish for Father's Day. You want to talk about expensive goddamn fish. They're like purebred fucking horses, dude. They're so expensive. And I went to this fish shop, and literally the aisle to walk down to go fish shopping is like 6 inches wide. So I'm like sliding down sideways this aisle, and there's a sign that says smile, and I think it's going to say smile, you're on camera.
Right.
But it says smile for the stingrays. And I'm like, stingrays? Mind you, there's like huge open tanks like all beside you. You're you can feel the heat coming off the water from these tanks. And dude, as soon as I read that sign, a fucking stingray jumped up out of the water. I didn't even know there were stingrays in there. But I felt like fucking Steve Irwin, dude. I was scared for my goddamn life. The stingray jumped up, and I could see the top of it. I shit and pissed all over myself. I was like stopped, and I like doubled back. You know, like when you're going through a tight spot in a haunted house, there's always that really fat kid that tries to like go backwards, like get the fuck out of there. That's how I was. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, get the fuck out of here.
You were that fat kid.
And this 15-year-old kid walks up. He's like, "Is there something I can help you with, sir?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're the fucking kois. I need a giant goldfish." the stingrays need a fucking lid over there, dude. Because one just about jumped out. He's like, "Hur," and he started laughing. He's like, they can't jump out. They like people. They jump up and say hi. I'm like, no, I'm not falling for that shit. Steve Irwin was killed by.
They took out my man Steve.
Yeah. Now I gotta watch Bendy and Bernie or whatever their fucking names are. Which, that's the one cool thing about Steve Irwin is what his kids have become.
Mm-hmm.
Is they're just super. I think they're both incredible.
They're just like him.
I really do. Especially his son is like it's like watching him all over again. And
They look identical.
Yeah, they do. But I grew, like he was huge when we were kids, and I grew up. I loved watching Steve Irwin, dude. But his son is really. I'd love to get him on here, but we don't have that kind of pool.
No, we don't.
Here, so
imagine all the crazy shit he could bring us.
Yeah.
Like in real life
live show.
Yeah, like a live show.
He thinks we're gonna be like doing it at a fancy hall or something. We're just in my basement with my cat shit box.
It's in your backyard.
He's like, how you cats do with kinkajous? We're about to fucking find out, dude. I feed my cats cherries all the time. We can feed this kinkajou some cherries. What is a fucking kinkajou?
I have no idea.
Let's look it up. Let's
sounds kinky though.
Let's flip over to the interview with Brennan Heath.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, so thanks for tuning in, guys.
Fuck you.
And this is a very special midweek episode we're doing with
buddy.
Our Patreon sponsor from earlier in the week. He couldn't make
coward.
He couldn't show up for his own episode. But here he is. We're doing a midweek episode. This you don't know this, but the episode is going to be breakup horror stories. So they're going to have some pretty fun stories. Do you have any breakup horror? Well, first off, is it Breen and Ann or is it Brennan?
It's Brennan.
Breen and Ann. I kind of wish it
like
was
it.
that.
Is it okay?
I was surprised. Every time you said my name, like, you said it correctly. And, like, people I know don't even say it correctly. And I was expecting you to call me, like, Brennan Queef or something, to be honest.
We missed out on
I
opportunity.
was a little let down.
What is a queef exactly?
You don't know what a queef is?
I'm unfamiliar. Can you explain that to me?
Fucking liar.
Yeah, I'll educate you real quick. A queef is when a woman really loves a man. This fun little air comes out of.
They're called after sex kisses.
Oh, Jesus. Right.
So Brennan, sorry about that.
Yeah.
He, like we said, he couldn't show up for his own episode. He did the moon landing hoax, which was a really good episode. We had
a good time.
It was a
hell yeah
fun episode for us. My dogs are barking.
There goes your dogs.
My Chipotle DoorDash is here. Rest in peace to my asshole.
I don't hear it.
Well, we had a lot of people download the episode. I know it's going to be really popular. It's already got a lot of thumbs down on YouTube. So
hell yeah,
people just don't. The conspiracies are always the most conflicted episodes for us as far as people listening and shit. But
yeah,
we're very.
Yeah,
happy.
I knew, but like a lot of people wanted to hear it because I remember, like, I've listened to all y'all's stuff. I've been listening forever, not forever, but obviously. You guys mentioned it all the time, but like I felt like you were looking for a reason, so I gave you a variety of things that you could choose from.
Which we're thankful you did that.
Yeah, usually the big ones were like that. So it's like of course. I already saw people that were right when we released the episode. They were like, "Don't fucking tell me you guys are Moonlander tonight." Or just like,
I swear in an old podcast you guys said you believed it. Like that it was fake. I swear that in like one of the past ones you said it because I was like,
probably
no,
did.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
I was like, you guys believe it? I was like, no.
I said I believe that it could be, but personally, I don't think that it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was talking.
I could definitely see how they would have and why they would have faked it, but at one point in time, I definitely
there was some weird shit.
Yeah, I definitely did used to think that it was fake. I used to buy into almost every conspiracy, though, just because I wanted to be different.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I'm just different, and I don't have to do that anymore. So,
my view on some of these conspiracy theories changes by the day. So just kind of however Alex Jones-ish I'm feeling that day is how I feel about that certain conspiracy. But again, Brennan, thanks for picking such a cool topic for us. We do appreciate that. And what's your views on it?
Me, well, I think it happened. It's real. Mythbusters is what like convinced me back in the day because like they covered it and like they covered the whole rock thing that you guys were saying. You don't know how they like. I guess it was like the way the rocks like how like there's bumps and stuff. So like that affected the light or some shit. I don't know, but they recreated it with one light source. So.
Okay. If anybody could do it, it's definitely them.
There's no such thing as science in Ohio. There's no science in the cream spot.
I love that name, by the way. I love it so much.
Thank you. My wife coined that term, and she hates it. She's like, "Why are all these people talking about the cream spot?" I'm like, you're the one that said it. Now, we also, throughout speaking with you in the weeks leading up to the episode, you kept on referring to something very weird with a roommate, and I wasn't really sure exactly what you're talking about. Immediately, whenever you picked up the phone to talk to us, I heard a cat wailing for its life, and you said, "Oh, that's a cat, and it's in heat." I'm like, "Okay," and then
they're not. They don't go together. Okay. I promise. It's not the weird shit. Yeah, he's not fucking the cat. And then, it's not like your dreams.
And then you just you kind of move to the right, and there's like a giant aquarium behind you for some type of reptile. I'm not sure what that is.
This is my roommate's.
He's going to show us. Oh, is that a bearded dragon or a gecko or
gecko?
Okay, yeah. I hear those are really. They're actually like a really sweet reptile to have.
I don't give a fuck about them. They're really boring. I mean, they're sweet, but I don't see the point of having an animal in a tank.
Yeah, I've heard
you can't cuddle it. What's the point?
As far as an affectionate animal, geckos and bearded dragons are like the most affectionate, if you want to say that, reptiles.
How can you even be affectionate to a reptile? Though I mean, I get people weird. Do, but.
You just flip it on its back and scratch its balls. So what's this weird gig? What's this weird thing going on? You pitch to us about your fucking roommate? Is your roommate there?
Like, no, he didn't even want me to say his name, but I'm going to say it. It's James Brown.
Wow.
And so many of my coworkers, I knew you were going to say some shit about that. So many of my coworkers listen to this podcast too, so I'm calling him out. He works with me as well. So everyone's going to know.
Does he sit down to piss?
No. My other roommate, he stands up to wipe his ass, though. Isn't that fucking weird?
I think so.
Like, what?
All you're doing is smashing it together. It's like putting two bricks together.
Right.
Yeah, you're
He's
literally...
Like, no,
yeah.
He's like, he just pulls a cheek, I guess, and he wipes. I don't know. I'm like, he's like, I don't even know how you sit-downers do it.
Man, that's weird. Like, he stands like literally straight up.
I used to stand to wipe.
I mean, I could at least see like if you stand up, but then you're like still bent over, and like stick your ass out a little bit so you can kind of get to it. But
that's too much work.
It really is. My lazy
that's not
ass
even
is
the weird one.
Yeah, right.
That's not the weird one.
Yeah, that's the normal one. Like, okay, so my roommate James. All right, he masturbates a certain way.
Okay.
And it's fucking insane. He doesn't jerk his dick or nothing, right? He literally lays on the floor.
On the floor?
Lays on the floor, like, fully clothed. Presses his soft. Guess he's explained it to me in detail because I was like, "What?"
Oh, so you haven't walked in on this happening. That'd be really cool.
No, I think I probably could have, and I wouldn't even notice.
Yeah,
like he just lays on the floor.
Are you
puts his dick to the floor?
Are you under him when he lays on the floor to masturbate?
Not all the time. You know, sometimes I got to make him want me a little.
Okay.
But so he lays down on the floor, puts his dick to the floor, and I guess he just kind of like flexes his dick and thrusts against the floor, and he comes and
so he dry humps
didn't even
the floor.
know about masturbation. He didn't even know what masturbation was. He didn't know that he was coming. He just thought that was relaxing, I guess. I don't know. He's been doing it since he was a kid.
That's what that's what my fucking 6-year-old does now.
Well, your 6-year-old's coming, but
he better not be a floor fucker.
And in my house, we call that the teeter-totter beater. This is what the teeter-totter Peter beater.
It's like what a snake would do if it needed to jerk off.
And he says he finishes it in like 30 seconds.
That's impressive
for him.
That's efficiency.
Yeah. But if like he tries to masturbate sometimes, he don't like it.
Weird.
Give him a fucking hand, dude. Show him the real way to do it.
Right?
Here's the important question: do you guys have carpet?
No, we have wood
Okay.
floor.
He's like, yeah, there's this really crusty spot right down the end of the hallway.
All the carpet's
No, remember,
matted
he
down.
keeps his pants on. He
Okay.
keeps his clothes on during it.
That's too
underwear,
messy.
pants. That's what I fucking said. But he's like, nah, man, you just rub it around, it dries out.
Oh God.
Right?
Ugh.
That's gonna stink the next day.
I want to know if, like, he's, like, both of them about the fucking standing up to wipe their ass and the fucking, what did you call it? The Peter beater?
Yeah, the teeter-totter Peter beater.
Peter beater. Yeah.
He said his name's
yeah,
James, right?
James.
I bet he's
James Brown.
Old Jimmy.
James strikes me as one of those guys that's got a humongously huge dick and he's never used it before his entire life. He's just the biggest waste of dick ever.
Well, his favorite thing to talk about is blowjob. He's like he's always about blowjob. So maybe not. Maybe he's just saying that he gets blowjobs, but he never does.
I wish I could get one of those blowy jobs.
A floor job.
One of those blowies, yeah. Since I'm not going to get a chick to suck my dick tonight, I'm going to go fuck the carpet.
Whenever I even did the thing, I didn't even care about like what we were going to talk about or like any of that. This was what I wanted to bring up, like 100%. A year ago when I did this, man, like this was my topic.
So
that I almost did like another weird sex death episode that just so this wasn't so random. But I was like, nah, nobody wants to fucking hear that.
It's fine. This will kind of fit in with this episode, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. I did the research for this episode a couple months ago. I don't remember what's in it. So we're just gonna be like Ron Burgundy and read the teleprompter.
Yeah, we managed to do that
Exactly
kind of
what
well.
it says.
Now, how? So I know some guys that you have to jerk off like at least once a day before they. Some guys got a problem. Is James? Is he fucking the carpet like every day, or is this like a?
That he doesn't tell me, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's more than he fucking lets on.
You
I'm pretty sure, like, because he tells me, he's like, bro, you came in right after I'm done. You didn't even know. Like he's cocky about it. It's crazy. Like I don't.
Oh God.
Oh my God. He was gonna be. He wanted to do this before, but then he backed out. He wanted to like explain it himself.
Maybe he can have a rebuttal after this episode.
Yeah, we would give him a rebuttal if he wants to explain his side of the story.
Listen, guys, it's not like how he explained it.
Oh yeah, man. I would totally get him to do a rebuttal if I can. And then I'll have my other roommate Ray tell about how he wipes his ass. Explain it.
You're like a fucking house of retards.
It's like circus freaks.
You're like a.
Like I was when I like realized, I was like, dude, I got like the two random like who the fuck does that? What are the odds of that happening?
They should make a movie about your situation. Like your parents thought you were moving in with grown-ups, and then the other parents thought their kids are moving in with grown-ups, but really they were just like all moving their retarded kids in together. So it's like it's a house of fucking idiots.
It's a conspiracy, man.
There's definitely a movie behind that right there.
There really is.
We could do that.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry about your roommate. That's kind of traumatic, I guess. Bringing in. Hopefully, you guys get that all sorted out. Are you guys all? Is it all men, or is there a woman that lives there as well?
Well, my James, he used to have his girlfriend living here when I first moved in.
Oh,
and,
so he's had sex.
Not
with carpet.
Yeah. Then she fucking was a bitch, so she deuced out of here. And then we moved my other roommate in when he left his other bitch of a girlfriend. So then he moved in, and then he got another girlfriend. So she's living here. That's the only girl. But they definitely fucked because they have no respect, man. They are fucking like screaming like they're making a porno, and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Hell
like,
yeah.
I'm always banging on the floor. They don't give a fuck.
Well, we had to move in with my mom and dad a few years ago, waiting to get into our new house, and they're in their early 60s, and I thought that we wouldn't have to worry about the things that.
They are not that old.
Yeah, they are. I thought we were going to have to. I didn't think we had to worry about it, but man,
How'd that sound?
It sounded like lumbering turtles, but I definitely knew what was going on. You've seen we've played it on here before. The video of the
Turtles fucking?
turtle coming. He's like,
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Or
that's just your mom.
One go like,
Yeah. You guys are really good. We can totally
I
make turtle
fucking died.
Make turtle porn.
Oh god. Well, Brennan, I thanks for getting with us finally, man.
No problem. I'm sorry. That last time.
It's
not a
okay.
big deal. We are the least organized fucking people in the entire world. So
Yeah, we don't know what the fuck we're
don't worry
doing.
about that.
Each day is something new.
Yeah.
So.
I hope this was worth it to you. I hope
It
this
was.
all of you, everything you could have ever dreamt.
It was everything and more
I hope.
that I could have ever dreamt.
Hopefully, you don't find James in a closet after he listens to this, just like
Oh, God.
doing a James Carradine or
Hang
anything.
there.
That was dark.
Jesus. Maybe, man, because I promised I wouldn't say his name, but I'm just such a piece of shit that I was like, I got
We gotta.
I'll say, I gotta see this.
So, like, how you can't even search it?
Right. I gotta see
sorry.
this guy to do a.
Unfortunately, if you two are friends on Facebook, we've already said your name. It won't be hard to find him.
Right.
That's right.
I didn't think that through.
I'm a
My bad.
detective. I am a natural born detective. It's my job to find just for the episode we did for you. I wrote an email to Buzz Aldrin asking him to be on the show.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
I finally got a no. Got a no back. It was a very emphatic no.
What was he nice?
I think it was just like his PR guy. He's in his 90s and fucking delirious now.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Living your entire life thinking you went to the moon, you didn't really go. How
Jesus.
fucking fucked up you would be.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, you're right. We can't understand that type of struggle.
Are
Yeah.
you guys live in West Virginia?
West by God, Virginia.
Oh man, so those are not actually
cousin fucking shit, man.
those aren't really your roommates. Those are your brothers and sisters.
Right there's my brother, man, and my cousin. We like to say that we're just roommates, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went to I used to work in West Virginia a lot, and we worked alongside this highway, and we watched this kid outside working on a motor for like 4 days straight. And he was trying to turn it into a what was he trying to turn it into? Like a scooter with a motor on it.
Oh, yeah.
And come to find out, it was a motor off of a weed eater, and he had somehow converted it into a motor for a fucking scooter.
Hell yeah.
And then,
Successfully?
well, no, he on the last day he lit his leg on fire, and his whatever
Jesus Christ.
his nanny come running outside, and she got the fire put out on his leg. But I was just like,
Yeah, one of our friends in high school, he took a lawnmower engine and put it on a bicycle and made it work.
wow, I have no ingenuity skills
yeah.
like that at all.
He also made a hot
I
dog
wish I could
cannon.
do that.
He made a hot dog cannon that blew a frozen hot dog through Moo's dad's garage
I know you're talking
through the
about.
wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Ryan.
There was a guy at work today. He's like, "Oh, I was really tired from using my chainsaw last night." And I was like, "Is that the name of your new dildo?" That was today. So good. All right, Breed and Ann, we appreciate you, buddy. Sorry about your living situation with all the lizards and fucking cats and
Cum
eating
stains.
dogs and crunchy carpet. You should give James the nickname Captain Crunch because how crunchy he makes the carpet.
Okay, I'll definitely do that, man. He's gonna listen to this podcast. He listens to you guys too, so
Hell yeah.
he's gonna know.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
him, dude. We're on your side.
James, you're listening to this. We want to get your rebuttal, dog.
We do.
Get a hold of us.
The whole entire
Yes.
Ohio nation's going to want his
Yeah,
rebuttal
we
after this.
we have to hear your side of the.
I want to know if anybody in Ohio fucking does that shit.
I'm sure
Oh,
there's
yeah.
We
plenty.
got some weirdos, man.
I'm sure there's
Yeah.
plenty.
We were tagged in a Twitter video today. It was a guy approaching the camera backwards, and his balls were completely in his ass. And we got to the camera, he shit his balls out of his ass.
Shut the fuck up. Oh my god.
I'm fucking serious.
Oh,
this
dude!
shit.
I hope that's the person that actually listens to us, and
No,
not just
it
a
was-
video offline.
It was just some weirdo online, but it wasn't.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty sketchy for
That's
sure.
a bummer.
Yeah, I wish that.
I wish that was him.
Let me find it. Okay, here it is. Pretty good.
That's a clean asshole though, man. That's hairless.
That's definitely bleached.
Good for him.
All right, Brennan.
Can't say that.
We appreciate you, man. We're gonna bust this episode out. So
Thank you, sir.
Oh yeah, man.
all right,
No
buddy.
problem, guys.
Take care.
Thanks, you too.
Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.
And that was Brennan.
Yep. Bernanan.
Hashtag justice for James. So he can hashtag justice for James so we can get his rebuttal here on the Ohio podcast.
Yeah, I definitely need to know more about that.
Captain Crunch, as he's so affectionately known around here.
That's very interesting. I don't think I've ever actually heard of an adult doing that.
What a fun living situation that is.
Yeah.
I said, is that a lizard back there? He said, oh yeah, let's go look. It's goddamn salamander. Breeding Ann. What a guy. All right.
What a guy.
That's the end of this episode.
Yeah. But it's really the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but he does it anyways. Tell him.
Yeah. Love you guys.